Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for the Finishing Touch Awards, sponsored by the Painting and Decorating Foundation and the Wall and Ceiling Industry Advancement Fund. The Finishing Touch Awards recognize the efforts of the best painting, drywall, and taping market in the country. Our quality is second to none, and these awards continue to prove it. Our panel of judges were Charles Bell, Principal, Charles Bell Architects; John Gall, Director of Training and Workforce Development, Carpenters District Council of Greater St. Louis and Kansas City; Ron Tierney, Director of Training, St. Louis Carpenters Apprentice Program; Mike Slattery, former CEO of Slattery Painting; and Tom Finan of the Construction Industry Forum. The judges focused on craftsmanship, creativity, execution, the level of difficulty, and the use of color as a design element. And now, the winners of the 2016 Finishing Touch Awards. Let's begin the festivities this evening with commercial wall covering, where Paintsmiths of St. Louis garners top honors for its first-rate graphics presentation at Lambert St. Louis International Airport for the Missouri History Museum. The graphics depicting historical photographs of yesteryear in St. Louis were installed in the baggage claim areas of Terminal 2. Working around a nearly constant stream of arriving flights, Paintsmiths of St. Louis scheduled its work to proceed between arrivals and overnight to avoid impeding the flow of human cargo passing through the busy airport. The graphics are meant to leave visitors to St. Louis with a positive impression of our city. Well, Paintsmiths of St. Louis definitely left a positive impression on our judges. Congratulations. Paintsmiths of Missouri grabbed second place in this class with its decorative wall covering treatments at St. Louis Union Station. Renovation of the Grand Head House Hotel required Paintsmiths of Missouri to remove and replace thousands of yards of wall coverings in common areas and guest rooms. Working under a grueling one-week schedule, despite the discovery and then abatement of mold, Paintsmiths of Missouri completed its mission on time and on budget because, well, that's what they do. Let's stay out near the airport now, where Paintsmiths of St. Louis grabs first place in exterior commercial painting for its work at the parking spot on Natural Bridge. Owners of the parking lot wanted a facelift for their aging structure, and that's just what they got. Paintsmiths of St. Louis braved cold and windy conditions, heavy traffic, and difficult access to produce a dramatically different effect. Using a combination of black, yellow, and green paint colors and over 260 graphic stencils, Paintsmiths of St. Louis produced the rebranding results desired by the owners of the parking spot. And they brought it in under budget. Nice work, Paintsmiths of St. Louis. Bazan Painting is awarded an honorable mention in this group for its efforts at the Steinberg Prairie Boardwalk in Forest Park. The boardwalk, which stretches almost 700 feet through marshland while skirting a pond, was in dire need of restaining. Years of exposure left the boardwalk in less than stellar shape. So, Bazan's painters power washed, contained and recaptured the old loose coatings and restained the boardwalk to great effect. Forest Park Forever characterized Bazan's work as a home run. Well done. The judges singled out Laramie Drywall for its outstanding achievement in drywall installation at the Haupt residence in Frontenac. Design elements abound in this spacious barn-inspired home, featuring a gambrel-style roof and two gambrel-style dormers that are reflected in the interior. Other touches include a pediment-style cathedral ceiling with light trough, a deep coffer ceiling with light trough, and a coffered ceiling in the two-story great room. Skill and precision were demanded of Laramie's carpenters in the execution of this home, and the judges recognized their efforts with this first-place win. Way to go, Laramie Drywall. Laramie Drywall also snags first place for its drywall taping at the Haupt residence in Frontenac. The amount of abundant, critical light bathing the interior of this barn-style home demanded the highest level of execution in the finishing of the walls and ceilings. Nothing inside this home is barn-like. It's a charming, sophisticated, light-filled space with a range of architectural elements. Laramie's tapers were tasked with producing a near-flawless finish to accommodate the palette of paints called for in Mitchell Wall Architects' design. Despite the level of difficulty posed at the Haupt residence, every challenge was met, every obstacle overcome by Laramie Drywall. While there's no clear-cut winner in industrial buildings this year, the judges did bestow an honorable mention on Joseph Ward Painting for its top-secret work at Boeing Building 245. We'd like to show you how nice the place looks, but Boeing doesn't allow photos to be taken, fearful of industrial espionage. Too bad. We'd like to see Joseph Ward's work on this building that covers 3 football fields in length. Industrial painting had lots of competition this year, and the judges chose 5 contractors to receive recognition in this category. Our first place winner is Thomas Industrial Coatings for its arduous execution on the Eads Bridge downtown. The challenges presented in de-leading and recoating the Eads Bridge were almost too numerous to mention, but here's the short list. Weather, flooding, access to the unique structure, containment, ventilation, blasting through 9 coats of paint to bare metal, reclamation, recycling, and overspray. The complexity of the Eads Bridge project was daunting to say the least, but not beyond the capabilities of Thomas Industrial Coatings. Well done indeed. Thomas Industrial Coatings also picks up second place for its renovation of the I-794 Hone Bridge in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Thomas Industrial was charged with containing, blasting, and coating nearly 1.8 million square feet of steel on this bridge that straddles the Milwaukee River and a city park below. Great care had to be taken to contain any blast or overspray from contaminating the areas around the bridge. The winter wind blowing in off of Lake Michigan challenged even the hardiest man and machine on this project. A job well done by Thomas Industrial Coatings. Third place was awarded to Coatings Unlimited for the Montrose Lake Bridge in Henry County, Missouri. Inspections discovered that all 40 of the supporting bridge piers were deteriorating and in need of repair. The solution? Get Coatings Unlimited to encase the piles in a fiberglass and polymer cement jacketing system. Certified divers water blasted the piers 1 foot below the lake bed, then affixed the fiberglass jacket around the pier before the polymer cement was pumped in. Deterioration arrested by Coatings Unlimited. Bazan Painting snatches another honorable mention for Ameren's Osage Power Plant at Bagnell Dam at the Lake of the Ozarks. Bazan was hired to contain, abate, and recoat 8 turbine covers and guardrails at the dam. The goal was to finish half the covers and rails before winter weather moved in, but because Bazan moved so quickly and efficiently, all 8 turbine covers and all but 2 guardrail sections were completed before winter set in. Very nice, Bazan Painting. Thomas Industrial Coatings also captures an honorable mention for its conversion of 56 towboats for American commercial barge lines after ACBL purchased the fleet from one of its competitors. Thomas Industrial was tasked with cleaning and overcoating each of the boats that ply the rivers between St. Louis and Paducah, Kentucky, from engine to superstructure. Just locating, wrangling, and getting these working boats into port was quite the undertaking, and a pretty cool project for Thomas Industrial Coatings. A new award category was created this year to recognize achievement in advancing technology and innovation. And our first place award goes to Niehaus Building Services for its innovative execution of the unique panelized exterior wall system at the Washington University Medical Center Campus Renewal Project in the Central West End. Niehaus partnered with IWR North America to design and build the insulated, water-resistive exterior enclosure in its warehouse and ship them to the job site prior to the installation of patented tactile panels. This project is the epitome of teamwork. In all, over 150 panel shapes were created using Building Information Modeling, or BIM, profiles created by HOK Architects. Each of the 75,000 square feet of panels assembled by Niehaus and IWR had a tolerance of less than 1/4 inch in order for the ultra-high performance concrete tactile panels to line up properly at the site. The precision demanded to stage, accurately place, and set each panel tested Niehaus's skill time and again, and they passed each and every test. Bravo, Niehaus, since 1902. TJ Weiss gets a nod from the judges with an honorable mention for its use of innovation and new products for its exterior renovations at the American Optometric Association's headquarters in Creve Coeur. TJ Weiss transformed the 1970s vintage office space into a dazzling feast for the eyes with its use of Nichiha fiber cement panels. Never having used Nichiha before, TJ's carpenters had to overcome a slight installation learning curve, but the end product is one that produced a very happy client. Way to go, TJ Weiss. Let's turn our focus to commercial drywall framing and installation now, where TJ Weiss wins top prize for its outstanding success at the Danforth Plant Sciences Center. This 64,000 square foot LEED Gold edition was completed in just 18 months. It features radius soffits, curved walls, and rolling slanted window walls. Framing and hanging proceeded using a variety of materials, including conventional gypsum board, both regular and mold resistant, perforated gypsum for acoustical value, and tile backer board. USG's drywall suspension system was used to construct the curved ceilings and soffits. Almost 2 miles of aluminum reveals were precisely installed to align with adjoining finishes. A drywall milling machine was incorporated to assist in the placement of board in super tight radiuses. Turn after turn in this building reveals yet another nice architectural touch, and the execution of the designer's vision is what wins TJ Weiss first place in this category. TJ Weiss Drywall receives a second place award for its very nice framing and hanging work at Stonecrest at Clayton View in Richmond Heights. TJ Weiss was responsible for not only the walls and ceilings in this 64,000 square foot senior living facility, but also the setting of all exterior and interior load-bearing cold-formed wall panels, floor joist, steel decking, and trusses. Quite an undertaking indeed. Completed in 8 short months, this 4-story facility required more than 27,000 man-hours and 400,000 square feet of drywall. Impressive outing for TJ Weiss. Staying with drywall now, this time for taping and finishing, we find TJ Weiss sitting atop the field yet again. Winners for their performance at the Danforth Plant Sciences Center. You could almost see this coming, given that we already looked at the complex framing and hanging job that TJ's carpenters performed at the building. Now it's time for their tapers to shine. Crisp, seamless transitions with radius trims and curvilinear surfaces caught the attention of the judges. The radius soffits in the atrium seemed to flow downward toward the viewer. The sharp edges of the curved reveals in the auditorium meticulously form the terminations for the perforated acoustical ceiling. This is finishing work of the highest order and just the latest in a long line of finishing touch awards by TJ Weiss. Weiss Drywall nabbed second place in this category for its skillful execution at several library projects in and around the area for the St. Louis County Public Library System. Each of the libraries went through an extensive renovation to modernize and brighten their appeal. Weiss's tapers use their skills and creativity to produce outstanding results for patrons of these county libraries at Cliff Cave, Natural Bridge, Oak Bend, Prairie Commons, and Samuel C. Sachs. Very craftsman-like work by Weiss Drywall. Let's turn our attention to interior commercial painting now, where Paintsmiths of Missouri claims first place for its sparkling finishing touches at the Grand Head House Hotel at Union Station. The new owners of the hotel wanted to apply a new paint scheme to the interior of the building, but they needed it done in just 1 week. From setup to prep to paint and teardown, 1 week. Paintsmiths of Missouri said, no problem. They erected a multi-tiered scaffolding in the atrium lobby and applied the appropriate paint scheme, and the finished product is something to appreciate in person. Renovations also included upgrading the existing finishes in 69 5-star rooms with new paint schemes, wet bars, and crown molding. Paintsmiths of Missouri has added yet another jewel in its crown for its work at St. Louis Union Station's Head House Hotel. Second place goes to Paintsmiths of St. Louis for its paintsmithing at Washington University's Fitness, Recreation, and Athletic Facility. The project was actually a very large new undertaking, but also a renovation with a bit of historic restoration thrown in. The new facility includes a new gym, elevated track, fitness center, locker rooms, and support areas. The renovation consisted of the colonnade and the alumni room. The new fitness, recreation, and athletic facility was completed in time to serve as the host location for this year's presidential debate at Washington U. Very nice performance by Paintsmiths of St. Louis. The judges awarded an honorable mention to Leach Painting for its treatments at the Henry Miller IBEW Museum. Maybe you didn't realize it, but the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, was formally established in a boarding house at 2726 Martin Luther King Drive, formerly Franklin Avenue, where electrician Henry Miller lived 125 years ago. The house was purchased by IBEW Local 1 St. Louis and completely renovated in time for the IBEW's 39th convention. Leach painting sanded, stained, and finished all the floors, and over 20,000 linear feet of beadboard on-site and thousands of feet of base, quarter-round, and base shoe off-site at their warehouse. Then they completely painted the inside of the newly created Henry Miller Museum. Great project, Leach Painting. Jeff Smith and the folks at Paintsmiths of St. Louis lay claim to our final award this evening. First place in commercial special effects for a stairwell at the Market and Jefferson building. A stairwell? Well, hang on, this is pretty cool. Paintsmiths of St. Louis was hired for this project and told, follow the layout found on a single square-shaped, two-dimensional illustration, and then paint it on a multi-level sloped surface in a stairwell. Paintsmiths of St. Louis laid out the design with a chalk line, taped off the shapes, and then painted it with a palette of bold colors. The effect is a dizzying display that grabs your attention, sort of like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. If you've got vertigo, don't look up. Well done, Paintsmiths of St. Louis. Well, that's our show. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, suppliers, contractor contestants, and the craft workers from Painters District Council number 58 and the Carpenters District Council of St. Louis and Kansas City for yet again underscoring our belief that this is the finest construction market in the United States. And now for the presentation of our awards, Mr. Tom Finan of the St. Louis Construction Industry Forum.